Introduction to the Fire Officer 1. The Fire Officer 1 is designated as a supervisor of a single suppression unit or small administrative function within an agency. Most often, this position is that of the company officer within a fire station. The company officer is responsible for delegation of tasks and overseeing multiple functions. The need to prioritize and delegate is key to the success of this position. Company officers may be in charge of emergency scenes, non-emergency tasks, or they may be assigned to small administrative functions within the organization. The typical roles of a Fire Officer 1. Supervise and direct activities of a single unit. Instruct members on operating procedures. Respond to calls for service such as fires, vehicle extrications, hazardous materials incidents, emergency medical incidents. Assume command of emergency scenes. Administer emergency medical first aid and CPR. Oversee the maintenance and inspection of apparatus. Receive direction and instruction from fire officers and battalion chiefs. Provide training on apparatus operations. Evaluate performance. Read and apply procedures and technical manuals. Complete and maintain records. Prepare necessary reports. Perform pre-fire planning activities. Conduct occupational inspections. Determine cause and preliminary origin of fires. Conduct public education programs and fire station tours. Assist in fire safety inspections. Participate and oversee equipment inspection and testing. Work directly in supervising firefighting activities. Taking action on maintenance needs of equipment, buildings, grounds. Supervising and performing maintenance and cleaning work around the station. These duties make up the majority of responsibilities for the typical first-level fire officer in the fire service today. History of the fire service. The first fire department in history was the Familia Publica, formed by Augustus Caesar around 24 BC. It consisted of around 600 slaves posted around the city to watch for fire and fight them. Since they were slaves, the motivation factor for protecting the city was not necessarily ideal for such an important function. In 60 AD, the Roman Emperor Nero commissioned the Corps de Vigiles. The important function of this protection agency was to provide fire protection for the Empire of Rome. The force consisted of about 7,000 free men, and they were formed under the similar structure of the Roman military. Thus, the paramilitary structure seen in most fire departments today was an early concept in the fire service. The first recorded fire in U.S. history occurred in the Jamestown, Virginia settlement in 1607. The construction of houses in most early American settlements were of combustible materials that easily spread from one building to another when fires were very difficult to extinguish, and there was no effective way to move water. The first organized firefighting company was established in the U.S. in 1735. The Union Volunteer Fire Company, under the leadership of Benjamin Franklin, who also developed the lightning rod, as a lightning at the time was a major cause of fire in early American settlements. Fire continued to shape the fire service. In 1871, two major fires occurred that led to improved firefighting and the development of fire codes to prevent fires from occurring in the first place. The Great Chicago Fire was a fire that burned for 3 days, and it was responsible for well over 300 deaths. It was started after several weeks of drought conditions and was difficult to contain due to the dry conditions and lack of water. The Chicago Fire is known as one of the most famous fires in history. However, a few hundred miles north in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, a much larger fire claimed over 2,400 acres and took 2,200 lives, and is remembered as the most deadly fire in American history.